Hello students, today we will discuss about another concept called as superconductivity. In our last classes we have discussed regarding semiconductors. So inside that I have derived what are the expression for electrical conductivity in intrinsic semiconductors, and as well as another important concept so in semiconductor is that is a Hall effects, and it's what is the expression for Hall coefficient, and what are the applications of Hall effects. So let us discuss what is the meaning of this superconductivity. So in the heading itself tells the meaning of this one, superconductivity. So you know that in case of metal, as the temperature is increases, its resistivity is what it is, also increases. But when the temperature of certain metals and alloys is reduced to a few degree of Kelvin, what it is, when the temperature of certain metals as well as alloys is reduced, means it's decreased to a few degree of Kelvin, the resistivity of that given temperature, the resistivity of that what it is given material at particular value of temperature becomes what it is zero, as R suddenly drops to a zero. So the materials which exhibits these properties are called as superconductor, and the phenomena is called as superconductivity. So this was observed initially or predicted by our scientist Kamerlingh Onnes in the year of 1911. Okay, so he observed this phenomena in case of an mercury metal. So let us see how he confirmed that as the temperature of that mercury metal is reduced to a few degree of Kelvin, at particular value, at few degrees of temperature, few degree of Kelvin, the resistivity of that metal mercury suddenly becomes what is zero or drops to a zero. At what temperatures? So here he drawn the resistivity against the temperature. As the temperature of that mercury is reduced, is decreased, is cooled. So here at this temperature, that means for mercury, the resistivity of that metals becomes what is zero at this temperature. That means at 4.2 Kelvin, what it is at a 4.2 Kelvin, the resistivity of that mercury becomes what is 0. The temperature at which the resistivity of the material becomes zero is called as a critical temperature. So that's also called it by a transition temperatures. What it is? The temperature at which the resistivity of the given metals, the resistivity of the given material suddenly drops to a zero or becomes zero simply. So that temperature we are calling it by what it is? Critical temperature. So that's also called it by transition temperature. Okay. So this critical temperature is different for different metals. So these properties are exhibited by some metals as well as alloys. Okay. So those metals we are calling it by what is superconductors. That means its conductivity becomes what is super. Based on that, so they have named superconductivity because the resistivity of that given metals is completely becomes what is zero. That means there is no opposition for the flow of current. Okay. So let's discuss next one is what are the experimental facts, how you are confirming so that material is superconductor. One experimental fact is there is a persistent current. Suppose if you are having a superconducting material in the form of ring, a current can be induced in the superconducting material, so by the method of electromagnetic inductions, from the in a magnetic field, that material is cooled in a magnetic field from a temperature above the critical temperature to the below the critical temperature. There, after that, you remove the you remove the electromagnetic fields. Even after the removal of field, current flows through the ring. What it is? Even after the removal of field, the current continues to flow for several days. The current which remains same in the superconducting ring or superconducting metals even after the removal of electromagnetic induction. So such currents are called as what is persistent current. Here the persistent current is the proof of occurrence of superconducting states. So what is the experimental facts? If you are having a superconducting metals in the form of ring in which a current can be induced by the method of electromagnetic inductions and cooled in a magnetic field from the temperature above critical temperature to the below transition temperatures. And at a certain stage, remove the field. Even after the removal of field, magnetic inductions, the current continues to, whatever the current you are induced inside that your superconducting ring, that current continues to flow without any loss for several hours or for several days through the superconducting ring. Such currents we are calling it by what it is persistent current. That persist current is the proof or the existence of our material is in superconducting phases. Okay, this is one of the facts, experimental facts regarding our superconducting materials. Okay, next one more is that's what is the effect of isotopic mass. So we know that what are isotopes? The atoms which are having a same atomic number but with the different mass numbers are called as what is isotopes. The examples are H1, H12 and H13. So here you are having same atomic number but different mass numbers. So these atoms are called as what is isotopes. Okay. So here, how that atomic mass plays a role in case of superconducting properties. So that critical temperature, or can call as what the transition temperature of that material is universally proportional to the square root of the what is the atomic mass or isotopic mass, or simply called as the atomic mass of the given materials. So for example, let us consider atomic mass of mercury, which is ranges in the form of what is, which ranges in the form of what 199 atomic mass unit to what 203 units. So for 199, so you are having a 4.185 Kelvin. So where you are having a higher mass, that is 203, so you are having what is 4.146 kelvins. That means as the mass of that your given atom, that as the atomic mass is what is increases, its critical temperature is what is decreases. They are what inversely proportional to the each other. So this will plays an isotopic mass will plays an important effect on our what superconducting properties. Okay. So this is regarding your isotopic effect. Next, the superconducting properties can be altered, can be changed by the method of by the applications of temperature or magnetic field, by the applications of what magnetic structure. Next to by adding an impurity. So already I have mentioned that one more is isotopic mass and atomic structure. So with the help of this one, you can destroy what is, you can destroy the property of superconducting materials. So what it is, the superconducting properties can be changed, can be destroyed, simply you call it, but can be changed. So with the help of temperature, magnetic field, magnetic stress, impurity, atomic structure, and isotopic mass. So and that knows what, okay, that's impurity by adding an impurity to the given metals. So with the help of this one, you can alter, you can change the property of our superconducting materials. Okay. So for your syllabus, so you are having how that magnetic field will destroy your what it is superconducting properties. So already I have mentioned that the temperature at which the resistivity of the given material becomes zero in zero magnetic field. That means at critical temperatures you are having an what is zero magnetic field. So that temperature we have called it by what is transition temperature. So that's also called it what critical temperatures. So here the destruction of a magnetic field, the destruction of superconducting properties by the method of by the applications of magnetic field. How that magnetic field will affects the superconducting properties. So let's see here. Already I have mentioned that at TC, that's a transition temperature, below transition temperatures, so our materials exhibits and superconducting materials. So at TC, so the magnetic field is 0 hertz. Above TC, you are having certain amount of magnetic field. Here the minimum amount of magnetic field is required. What is the minimum amount of magnetic field is required in order to destroy the superconducting properties is called as critical magnetic field. What amount of magnetic field is required, so in order to destroy the property of superconducting materials, so that magnetic field we are calling it what, critical magnetic fields. So this critical magnetic field is what different for different what is materials at critical. So see here, the critical magnetic field as a function of temperature, the graph is drawn, the critical magnetic field as a function of what is temperatures. So here this curve, so the area within the curve indicates the superconducting states. The area within the curve indicates what, superconducting states, and outside this area, so that's what is normal status. So this one is what, Tc. So at Tc, the critical magnetic field what is 0. At a critical temperature or transition temperature, the critical magnetic field is what is 0. Okay. What is at the critical temperature? At critical temperature, the critical magnetic field is what is 0. Okay. The one expressions we are adding, the critical magnetic field, so as a function of temperature is given by an equations of what, let's say is equals to h naught into bracket what, 1 minus T by Tc, that's whole squares. Okay. So see here, so what I'm saying is this, the Tc, the graph is drawn. Let's see again at what is T. So where it says critical magnetic field is functions of temperature. So the critical temperature is different for different materials. That's also mentioned the point in the previous one. And this critical magnetic field, the critical magnetic field is also different for what, different materials. That means so what amount of magnetic field is what required in order to what, destroy the superconducting properties is called as what, critical magnetic field is. Okay. So after this discussion, let us move on to the another important concept in superconductivity is which is called as what, Meissner effects. Okay. Here the Meissner as well as ocean field together demonstrated that how that magnetic lines of forces are expelled out from the interior of the specimen of the superconducting material as that material reaches below the critical temperature, below the transition temperatures. So this phenomena was predicted by our scientist Meissner. So that's why an effect is called as what, a Meissner effect is. Okay. let us see that. So this picture, the first figure, indicates that normal conductor. So here the T is greater than, it is what it is, at TC. T is greater than TC. That means the magnetic lines of force are what? Existing within that our material, that conducting materials. But whereas in this case, so T is less than, is what is a TCs. T is less than a TCs. So when this superconducting material is cooled from the temperature above critical temperature to the critical from the is what, from above the transition temperature to the below the transition temperature, as you reaches a transition temperature whatever the magnetic lines of forces are there, the magnetic flux is there, that magnetic flux is what? Expelled out or goes out, expelled out from the interior of the your material. It's what it is, as the material reaches the temperature at Tc, transition temperature, whatever the magnetic lines are there, those magnetic flux, the magnetic lines are what? Expelled out from the interior of the given specimens. The expulsion of magnetic flux as the, what is the expulsion of what? Magnetic flux from the piece of the, from the interior piece of the superconducting material, as it passes, as it undergoes to the transition, as it undergoes to the transition to the superconducting state, is known as Meissner effects. So what do you mean by your Meissner effect? The expulsion of magnetic flux from the interior of the superconducting material as it undergoes the transition temperature to the what is superconducting state. So that means, already I have mentioned that as it reaches to the transition temperatures, the flux density there, whatever the magnetic lines of forces are there, they are what? Completely expelled out from the interior of the specimen. So this phenomena, so is called it as what is, this effect is called as what? Meissner effect is. Okay. So and he has proved that what is the property of our superconducting materials. We know that magnetic inductions. So B is equals to, capital B is equals to H plus 4 phi m meters. So the induced magnetic field, and one more thing is, so here I want to mention, so this expulsion of magnetic flux is reverse process. If you increase the temperature, the lines of, the magnetic lines of forces are again penetrate into the your given specimens. What it is, when the specimen is cooled below the critical temperature, the magnetic lines of forces what? Expelled out completely from the interior of the given specimen. The expulsion of magnetic flux, the expulsion of magnetic flux density from the interior of the material as it undergoes a transition to the superconducting state is known as a Meissner effect. And the effect is reverse one. So if you increase the temperature above the transition temperature, the magnetic lines of forces are what? Again penetrate into the specimen. Okay. So we know that the magnetic inductions V is equals to H plus 4 phi m. Here the magnetic induction is inside that your specimen is 0. So the above equation becomes what? H is equals to minus of 4 phi m meters. Okay. But we know that the susceptibility of magnetic material is given by psi is equals to what? Capital M divided by H, where capital M is the intensity of magnetizations to the what? Magnetizing fields. So next you are having, so you want to substitute the value of H here. So psi is equals to minus of M divided by what? 4 pi, because you are having H is equals to minus of 4 pi M is there. So after introducing this one, you are getting what? Psi is equals to what? Minus of 1 by 4 pi. That means the diamagnetic materials are having for a negative susceptibility. What is the diamagnetic materials are having what? The negative susceptibility. That means, so all superconductors exhibits in what? Diamagnetic properties. That means diamagnetism is the proof of occurrence of our superconducting property. Or all superconductors exhibits in a diamagnetic perfect diamagnetism. What is all superconductors exhibits in a perfect diamagnetism. Or perfect diamagnetism. Diamagnetism is the essential properties of our superconducting stages. Okay. So before that, they have concluded that from the Maxwell's equations, dV by dt is equals to from your Maxwell's equations. So dV by dt is equals to minus of curl E. So we know that another form of our Ohm's law, E is equals to, we are having an J by sigma. So this one already used 3-4 times in our previous class. But 1 by sigma, the reciprocal of the even what? Conductivity is nothing but a resistivity. Okay, just to check it. So E is equals to rho into Z. Okay, but here the resistivity of the superconducting materials, for the superconducting materials, the rho becomes what is 0. The resistivity is what is 0. So therefore your above equation becomes what? So dV by dt is equals to 0, or it indicates what? V is equals to a constant. So what it tells? Which tells that the magnetic flux to the metal cannot change as the material is what? Cooled below the transition temperatures. But Meissner had showed that a change does occur as the material is cooled below the what is transition temperatures. Okay, so that is the demonstrations made by our scientist Meissner regarding how that magnetic flux density or magnetic lines of forces are what? Expelled out from the interior of the specimen, so as that material reaches to what is critical temperatures. Okay, so this is a very important concept. Just go through it. Okay, next we want to discuss a little bit regarding what are the applications of our superconducting materials. So the word itself tells that its conductivity is superconductor, means its resistivity is 0. It's due to its 0 resistivity. So these materials are used to transfer the powers. They are used as a cable.